Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Okay, so don't know where to start. I mean, I guess we can sit there. Start with Drew. Start with Drew. One, because he's in the episode. Two, it just made me think about his character development, his progress when Billy Miller played him. He was liked, and Cameron took over the role. People didn't like him as much as they liked the other guy who played Drew. And I get that. They felt like the Drew character was kind of boring and kind of pointless or whatever. And he was always a very divided character, but he was never hated, right? And I don't generally like to use that term. I really don't. I feel like the word hate should be used for much more bigger and important thing like racism and war and famine and things of that nature, right? This is soap opera, so I'll try to go along for a minute. Portia contacts Rick, tells her about the situation, and there's one point where she's like, Drew changed. Drew and Curtis was best friends, right? And I remember coming back and watching it when they were going dumpster diving. Him and Curtis to try to solve Morgan's, murder or whatever. Went to jail, came out, and ever since then, people really didn't like the character, right? But it went over the moon, of course, the whole Michael and Willow and everything like that. And I don't know. And I'm gonna get to the review in a minute, but like this is my thing, right? I watch four soap operas, now five. And it's just so I don't know. I feel like at this point they should probably just kill the character off. Or send him away for a very long time. And it's not because I don't like Drew. I do. I think he's a flawed character. I like messy characters. Same thing with Bill Hamilton on the Gates. But I feel like there's so much toxicness. Every time I sit there and I read a comment, and granted, listen, people write what they write, as long as it's not racist, whatever, it is what it is. But it's just like this level of toxicness. It's like every time it's like, I hate Drew because of this, I hate Drew because of that, I hate Drew. And I've seen people hate characters, but not on this level, right? And somewhere along the line, I just wonder what the GH writers, Frank, whoever, is just like, maybe we should probably just send this character away. Because he ain't working for damn near nobody. And not that I want the actor to lose a job or anything like that, but I just feel like there's so much toxic baggage that at this point, I mean, what could they do to sit there and possibly redeem the character? If that's even possible. Anyway, tells him everything, and he gives Portia some advice until he can kind of figure out what he can do to help the situation, mitigate the situation. Didn't tell him about the Brad or Selena Wu part. I feel like that's kind of important, or maybe she did and it was off screen. But pretty much just stall him, right? Now Drew isn't there talking to Liz, pretty much his only friend in town at this point. Um, this new program, and he wants to sit there and do in honor of Oscar. I mean, how the fact that the man is able to sit there and get out of bed after losing a child, it's like it's the parent's worst nightmare, you know. So he wants to sit there and do this program, whatever. He gets Kai involved, and Kai and Trina is there to sit there and meet Drew. So they're talking or whatever, and of course, they bring up Oscar and Spencer a little bit. And he's game. He's game to sit there and do it. He winds up meeting James, because they got this plot. Because why not at this point? Something about him sliding off the roof, breaking his arm, being scared of Maxie's reaction, and wearing a pink cast and meeting Kai. That's pretty much the whole fluff of the story. At least Felicia actually did have a point of being there today, but sometimes I'm just like, ugh. um, Lulu tells Carly everything, and here's the thing. Let me tell you something. When she tells Carly all the stuff, and the scene is set up where she's asking her advice. She's asking her, what should I do? Should I tell Dante? Or should I keep my mouth shut? What she's really doing is pretty much asking for permission on what she wants to do. Because let's be honest, she came in there and she already knew what she wanted to do. She just wanted to have somebody to sit there and talk her out of it. That's what she wanted, on a subconscious level, because she wanted to go there to get permission to do it. And Carly tells her all the different reasons of why it's a bad idea, you shouldn't do it because of X, Y, and Z, and Bobby, and everything else. And all she pretty much said was, I know the answer when I look in Dante's eyes. Now, I get the reasons of why she shouldn't tell. All the different reasons, right? They all make sense. But there's a part of me that also just feels like this is out of pocket. Because, from a father's point of view, not being a father or anything like that, but from the dad's point of view, that's a pretty messed up thing. It's a pretty messed up thing for him to sit there. And that was taken out of his control. And that's the part that just really vexes me. For 18, 19, 27 years, he missed out on his life because Brooklyn decided to sit there and make a choice, unilaterally choice by herself and didn't include him. And now when Lulu doesn't sit there and say anything, years go by and he missed out on being on part of Dante, Gio's life where he could have been. Yes, he sees Gio and stuff like that, but it's not the same. So I still do have a problem with that. Speaking of Gio and Tracy, the Sonny and Alexis scene wasn't super important stuff for Sonny wants to sit there and set up a trust. For Gio, why? I don't know at this point. I mean, there's reasons for it, but here's the thing, and maybe this is okay. It does make sense, but here's the thing though. Tracy has been unusually very nice to Gio. And I get the idea that if you stand up to Tracy, you get some street cred, okay? You get some respect with her. I can get that on some level. But she is respecting him like she would sit there and respect a family member, you know? Tracy has just been all over the place at one point. Tracy can drive me insane. Okay, well, not insane, but she can really vex me at times. Because there's a point where she'll sit there and be overbearing, extra, Sasha, and Willow, and just doing things that's just like, boy, you doing too much. You're kidnapping practically Willow's kids, which is kids day out of pocket with me. It annoyed the living shit out of me, if we're going to be honest. I know people don't like Willow, I don't care. It was still an out of pocket thing. I don't even care the reason why she did it. It was still out of pocket. But then she is very protective out of nowhere. When Sonny comes in and is like, hey, listen, I want to sit there and set up this trust for you. I want you to have a good life. and your education, everything like that. I'm going to really sit there and take care of you. After she decided to invite Gio to sit down and have some coffee and tea with the family, and just like, even Gio's like, okay. He sits down and they're talking and stuff, and Sonny comes in. Sonny wants to sit there and give him money. Tracy's like, no, no, you're not going to do that. You're going to leave those papers here. I'm going to sit there and have my lawyers to figure it out, and you're not doing that. Hell, she even offers. She's like, you know what? Listen, he's under my roof now. I'm going to pay for his education. Okay. I know that they've had moments, and I get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm sitting there thinking about some of the nice moments, surprisingly, that they have, but this still just seems like it comes out of nowhere, right? And of course, you know, she starts laying into him because she has ammunition. Karen and AJ and all the other people that Sonny's hurt. Gio decides to sign it. Everyone leaves the room, walks Sonny out. And Gio's sitting there thinking, oh, this chick is about to curse my ass out. You know, he defied me for a second time. I respect that. She was just nice to him. Like, really nice. And I'm like, where is this coming from? And, you know, they have a really good, nice conversation. Um, Almost got me emotional. Not gonna lie, almost actually. Okay, actually did get me emotional. Um, but the whole time that he's sitting there talking, he's sitting his ass on the table. You know, the table where everyone was sitting there having their breakfast and their lunch and all that stuff. And you know, granted they're having this nice conversation, and I just can't help. I'm like, oh, Trace, you are really just being magnanimous because you didn't once at one point sit there and say, listen, I get we having this nice conversation. You think you could sit there and sit your ass over there instead of just sitting it on the table? Like, could you just possibly do that? Um, but yeah, it just seems like it just comes. I'm saying out of nowhere, even though I know there's history, but it just seems so odd to me. Now, Alexis comes over. I don't even know why she came over. I guess she came over just for Sitwell's request. Also Natalia, well, like I said, Natalia came over, Sitwells, and was like, "Oh, you're doing a hostile takeover, or you're sitting there taking out Sunny." I'm like, which one is it? Is he taking out Sunny? Is he doing a hostile takeover? Is he doing both? I mean, like, did you really think you were going to get answers from him? And of course, Alexis comes, and Sitwell's like, "All right, yeah, I got business to do, so you can go now." And they're talking for a little bit, and you know, Alexis pretty much because Sitwell's like, "I get the sense that you don't like me." There's something about Sitwell that I just every time he comes in, it's just great. Like I just feel like he's gonna make a he's already been a great villain so far. And Lex is like, well, here's the thing: you did some shady stuff back in Africa to people that I know, and I'm also in this house. So could you sit there and tell me what you want? And Sitwell's like, I can do something for you. Actually, I can give you something. Alexa's like, yeah, I don't think there's anything you can give me. That I will want from this place. You can just burn it at this point. And he goes in his cabinet and he brings out this box. And he opens the box. Now, if you are a longtime GH fan, you know what that gift is. Okay? It's a knife. It's not just any knife. I feel like it's the knife that Elena used to slit her mother's throat. God, that sounds terrible. But yes, that's what that is. Um, and I'm kind of just like, so what kind of sick game are you playing at this point? Like, like I don't get it. Um, anyway, Portia does wind up seeing um Drew, and Portia's like, all right, you know, listen, if you don't say anything, I'll sit there and play ball. I'll make sure that you have a sit down with my husband, and y'all can hash it out, and he can say all sorts of positive, nice things, and it's not going to be suspicious to that other congressman whatsoever, because it's totally going to be suspicious. And he's just like, okay, cool. He was like, I'm glad you came to your senses. Glad you came to your senses. uh, you know, I feel like at some point, I don't even know if people are going to be sympathetic to Drew. Even in today's episode, when he talked about how he lost a child, like the worst thing that a parent can actually go through. I don't think that people are even going to feel sympathetic towards that. Hell, there was one person in my comment section when I sat there and I was like, it's amazing that people will sit there and have a high opinion of Luke Spencer. Luke, the guy who violated Laura, which I feel like is an unforgivable sin in so many ways, is like the murdering of a soul. Yet I sat there and I saw a comment that was like, "Well, here's the thing about Drew versus Luke," and then halfway through, I was like, "Yeah, I can't read this shit." I was like, "Nope, I ain't doing it." Um, but then, even if you did feel some sort of sympathy, I'm pretty sure that probably just evaporated the minute he was like, "So you came to your senses." God damn it, Drew. Anyway, I feel like that's about it. Oh yeah, James also talked to Kai, but this was like all fluff or whatever. I mean, let's be honest. They could have not shown Kai and Trina and James, and it still would have went the exact same way. I feel like that's about it. Now tonight, I'm not gonna do a live stream. After I finish watching Bold and the Beautiful, I'm just gonna go to sleep. Just gonna go to sleep. Hell, I was actually planning on watching Daredevil tonight, and that's just not gonna happen. So, just gonna save those 2 episodes for the weekend. I'm beat. Um, and also tomorrow will just be a lot better because Saturday I'm actually off, and we could just sit there and just kind of really get into all 5 episodes because that's it. But it was fun though. But yeah, anything that I don't talk about tonight, I'll talk about tomorrow. Leave your comments. Let me know what you thought of this episode. I'll see you in the next video and live stream tomorrow, usual time.